Welcome to the MWBE Citizen Advisory Committee virtual meeting. Due to the Safer at Home order issued by Governor Cooper, members of the MWBE Citizen Advisory Committee are participating virtually. All members will vote by roll call. A member will be recognized at which time the member will state his or her vote. So I will say hello, welcome, and turn it over to Jakira for roll call, I guess.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Jakira Westbrook, Business Inclusion Manager with the Office of Business Inclusion and Advancement, and I'm going to call the roll for the MWBE Citizens Advisory Committee meeting being held today, July 19th at 4 p.m. Vice Chair Leah Metz.
Present.
Committee Member Cassandra Brunson.
Present.
Committee Member Money Canyon.
Present.
Committee Member Corey English. Committee Member Eric Harrison.
Present.
Committee Member Brittany Lowry. Committee Member Weta Patton.
Present.
And Committee Member Odette Sanchez. Due to a quorum not being present today, this meeting will be conducted as an information-only meeting. In addition to the committee members, we also have city staff on the call, the Director of the Office of Business Inclusion and Advancement, Kim Millett, Hannah Hernandez, Zachary Taylor, and with the marketing department, we have Larry Bell. And now I'll turn it back over to you, Vice Chair Metz, for the approval of the agenda in minutes.
Sure. So since we don't have quorum, I'm assuming we can't do the voting on the adoption of the agenda and the approval of the minutes. So I will pass it back over to you for the introduction of the new committee members.
Okay. So here recently, we were appointed some great members of the community to our committee, and I would like to thank you for your commitment to the MWBE Citizens Advisory Committee. And at this time, I would like for you all to briefly introduce yourselves, and I'll start out with committee member Weta Patton.
Good afternoon. I'm Weta Patton. Recently retired from the city after working with the Winston-Salem Police Department for 22 years. And I am excited about this opportunity and look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have committee member Money Canyon.
Hey, I'm Money Canyon. I have been currently working as a corporate educator for Norvine Health. I've been with Norvine Health for the last 23 years. Not too long ago, I graduated from the city of Winston-Salem University and just glad to be on board on a committee, actually putting forth some of that information that I learned from that particular course, and just happy to be here and excited.
Thank you. And then lastly, we have our committee member, Eric Harrison.
All right, nice to meet everybody. Well, I'm on the board of directors of Preservation for Science. I'm a doctoral student. I'm also a educator. I work with a nonprofit in Winston-Salem to develop an African American history curriculum, and also, well, that's really about it. But I'm happy to be a part of this. And make an impact in any kind of way I can. And it's nice to meet you all.
Well, thank you. I think that's all of the new members that we have on. Again, thank you for your commitment to our committee. And we look forward to serving with you all. And now I'll turn it over to Vice Chair Metz.
Yes, and welcome, Gwen. I'm not sure what your role is.
Oh, yes. Okay, I saw Gwen join. So yes, Gwendolyn Teal is a new diversity compliance specialist with our office. So she recently joined last month, and we are also excited to have her a part of our team as well.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet everyone. I look forward to working with each of you.
Thank you for joining us. And so now I will turn it over to Zachary to lead us through our good faith effort review.
Right. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. And once again, I'm Zach Taylor with Business Inclusion and Advancement. And today's pre-construction good faith effort review is going to be on the innovative contracting group for project Fire Station number 5 driveway replacement. Okay, so for the goal information, the established MWBE goals that were set were 5 and 5. The submitted goals came out to be 0 and 0. And this is because the subcontractors, after looking back over them, none were hub certified. So although they were listed, they weren't certified. And then we'll get into the good faith effort, letter A, which was letter A, did a representative of your company attend the pre-solicitation or pre-bid meeting scheduled with the city to inform MWBE firms of subcontracting, contracting, and supply opportunities for review contractor requirements of complying with the program. And for this one, it was no, they did not attend the pre-bid. And for A through L, there was no supplemental information, no forms, no attachments to go with this. All I got was an affidavit D, and I also got, which I'm about to share, is a, as soon as I can find it, let me pull it up. It was a good faith acknowledgement that I wanted to share. So this came from the email that I received along with the affidavit D. Other than that, that's pretty much, well, that is all the information that we received from this contractor. So there were no attachments and just this.
So with this acknowledgement letter, like Zach said, no additional supplemental documentation was submitted. So if you all would like to proceed, we can move on to allowing the contractor to join the call. And so that way, if there's any questions that you would like to ask him, you can. And then we can move forward after that point. Okay. And can you scroll down on the letter, Zach?
I'm sorry, let me go back. And just blank for the rest of it.
Oh, it was only that first page, correct?
Yeah, just the first page.
All right. So I'm gonna let Mr. McNeil join the call. Hello, Mr. McNeil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello, my name is Shakira Westbrook, and the MWBE Citizens Advisory Committee has reviewed your good faith efforts submitted for the Fire Station number 5 driveway project. So at this time, you can provide any context to your good faith effort submission, or we can proceed with you answering any questions that the committee may have for you.
Okay, the only context that I would have to give is we turn this around in 1 day's time, and we typically utilize minorities contractors that we have relationships with, and we reached out to the ones that we readily had available in such a short duration, and that's why there was minimal, I guess you say, MWB outreach within the 1 day's time. But I'm willing and ready to answer whatever questions you guys may have.
Hey there, this is Leah. Can you explain to us the rationale of not providing any of the supplemental materials?
What I'm sorry, what supplemental material did I omit?
The ones that would show us examples of documentation for A through L of the good faith effort review.
I'm going back now, trying to pull up my actual backup that I sent over to Mr. Taylor. I thought that I supplied it. If I didn't, that's my apologies.
Hi, this is committee member Cassandra Brunson. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. You mentioned that you would be, or that you had reached out to MWBEs that you had worked with in the past.
Yes.
What is that, just solely by phone calls, or do you have any outlets or mediums that you use specifically? Or what do you have
Solely
lined
by
up
phone.
forthcoming?
Solely by phone calls. We've done business with several minority firms over the last few years and have a good solid base of the minority firms that perform different scopes. And when we have jobs, we generally reach out to them because we have a relationship with them and they perform. And outside of the MEP scopes like mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, concrete, masonry, drywall, we have a good pool of and team of guys that we use on a regular basis. And those are the firms that I contacted with this project.
Okay, that could be looked at as exclusion. So right now your business is going to existing relationships and not opportunity for others. So I would encourage you to look for other outlets and ways to reach more population.
Okay, that's understood.
And Mr.
I see my good faith D form. I'm just looking from the A through the L form, I think she said.
Yes. So Mr. McNeil, on the affidavit D, the provisions listed A through L require the contractor to submit supplemental documentation for those letters.
Okay, I understand that.
We did receive your acknowledgement letter. I did want to note that.
Okay.
Are there any additional questions for Mr. McNeil?
It looks like on I, it said something about a letter of reference. Is that the reference? Is that the letter that we saw earlier today? Like he has quick pay and then letter of reference listed for letter I.
I would say no, that the letter that was provided by Mr. McNeil did not include language for letter I.
Okay.
Are there any additional questions from the committee members for Mr. McNeil? Seeing that there are none, thank you, Mr. McNeil, for joining us this afternoon. And Zachary Taylor will follow up with you regarding the good faith effort process and the results of your good faith effort as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, I'll turn it back over to you, Vice Chair Metz.
Yeah, so that is not the norm. Usually we have a lot of things to go through, and it usually takes maybe 30 to 45 minutes per one to go through documentation, and Zach does a nice job of leading us through each one of those and providing us the evidence that they provide typically. So for your first meeting, I know it's a little, I guess, empty in a sense, but definitely want to welcome you all to the committee. And of course, Jakira and Zach, myself, Ken, Hannah, any of us can answer any questions. I will always defer to Jakira. So there's that. But yeah, welcome to the committee. Are there any questions at this time?
So just because I don't know, and I know when I was looking down the list, I still didn't come up with, I think, whatever the threshold number was, even if everything had been supplied. Are you
Correct.
understanding what I'm saying? Like it looked as though even if everything was supplied, it still wasn't coming up to what the minimum. Am I incorrect?
From what he marked on his on the good faith effort, correct. How you need to score it by is what evidence he provided for us to look at versus what was there. But yeah, so depending on the points that you determine from the evidence would determine that. So even though there are times when we've gotten documentation that is checkmarked like that, and even the numbers are filled in, but they do not provide the evidence. And so you would go off of what you have determined rather than what is provided on that paperwork that they provided.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying, so no. So if the numbers that are there that are showing like, okay, if this person did supply like everything that's there, right? But I wasn't seeing that when I was adding up, even if everything was in order, what I was adding up wasn't coming out to what I thought the minimum was supposed to be. So I was confused. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe I'm not communicating. Okay.
Yes. So committee member Patton. So yes. So the total is 180 points.
Right.
Minimum is 115. So the point allocation that you see on that affidavit.
Oh, 115. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was misunderstanding. I appreciate that. Okay.
Sorry about that.
There was a link provided for you all to submit your scores electronically. So please do so by tomorrow by 5 p.m. So that way Zachary can follow up with Mr. McNeil regarding the good faith effort result. And that result will also be provided to the committee as well.
I have a question real quick. Okay. So the evidence is supposed to be attached to this good faith effort form that we have?
Yes.
All right. So there is no evidence. I don't see any. There's nothing there. Or am I missing something?
There was no supplemental evidence to provisions A through L. Yes.
Okay. So he provided no evidence, but just made these check marks. So basically, when we fill out that form, we're supposed to look at whatever evidence that he provided and then go off of that, and then that's how we score him, right? I'm just trying to.
Yes.
Understand. Okay. I understand. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will send out an additional example of what a typical good faith effort looks like when a contractor does supply the documentation to support these provisions in the good faith effort.
And typically you'll have another document attached that has all the evidence within it. And then Zach, as he's going through he'll go through A through L and he'll pull up the evidence that matches each one that they've provided. So it's kind of, we get the walkthrough. So you can look through it beforehand, but then we will get that walkthrough for better understanding. And sometimes it doesn't come in order. So it's helpful to have Zach kind of go through it and organize it for us. But great questions.
So one more question. So if you do not have the documentation, you do not get the points. Is that what I'm understanding?
That is correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make certain.
And if you all would like, I can pull up a quick example of a previous good faith effort if you want to see what that looks like really quickly.
That would be great.
One that you previously sent, but
okay, let me pull one up really quickly. see.
In the years that I've been on the committee, I don't think I've ever experienced this, not having evidence. So I'm a bit thrown off myself.
Pull up really quickly. Trying to pull up more, but I can't find them.
And if y'all will go in and fill out that form, that the good faith effort form that there's a click link to in Jakira's email, that is helpful to do probably within 24 hours, so that she has it and doesn't have to continue reaching out to you to get it in.
Why is it showing? Are you guys seeing my email?
At one point we did, I didn't see what the second thing was that you posted.
I'm trying to show you all the affidavit deed, but it won't. Hold on a second. Let's see. Screen 2. Oh, there it goes. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's still showing my email.
That had KMD construction.
Okay, you can see it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Okay, let's go back. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, this was for fire station number 3, and the bidder was KMD Construction, and you'll see here for the items of the good faith effort. Like, so for instance, letter A, attending the pre-bid meeting, they included a copy of the pre-bid sign-in sheet where you can see here they have highlighted that they attended, and then some additional examples of advertising in at least 3 mediums, which is letter B. They included their advertisement with the state hub office. So they have what time the bids are due, the location, who to contact, the scope of work, links to the contact of the construction firm. And then letter C is providing a written notice to a number of reasonable bidders. And so here is the documentation of the list that they sent to MWBE firms who could be potentially interested in bidding on the project. So as you can see here, they have them broken out by trade. So there's several trades listed here with at least 3 MWBE firms in each category. So this is the type of documentation that we look for to support their efforts in seeking MWBE firms for the good faith effort process. Let's see. And this is a copy of the invitation to bid that is sent to all of those firms that were listed. So this is like a key piece of information. There's a link here where they can go to view the plans and specs and things of that nature as well. And they also offer, I think what someone asked regarding letter I, regarding to the lines of credit or loan capital, joint pay agreements. There's also language here that offers that assistance to those MWBE firms. So all of that typically is included in their solicitation letter And we weren't able to see that with this project that we reviewed because that documentation was not there. Yeah, so like Leah said, they're pretty lengthy and typically have a lot of meat to them, providing that evidence.
You'll notice this one's 85 pages.
Yes.
That's why we love Zach.
I'm trying to fill out, let's see. And you see how here on their affidavit D, they did give themselves, award themselves points, but like Vice Chair Met said, that we go through this documentation with the committee, and then you all will assign points based upon them satisfying the requirements listed in the good faith effort.
Thank you for showing us that.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
No, and thank you.
Yeah, good questions.
You're very welcome.
Okay, well then, in that case, I guess we will adjourn. Do we need a motion for adjournment since we don't have quorum?
No, we don't need a motion. It was an information only meeting.
All right. Do you know Jakira sent out a list with the dates for future meetings? And so that keep that on your calendar, and then she'll be in touch, as you saw, a few days before, letting us know if there's further good faith efforts or not. But I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a good night.